them out from light into darkness. Those are the dwellers of the fire, and they will abide therein forever. There is wali of Allah and wali of Shaitan. It is not everyone that is called a wali, and on whose grave a tomb and dome is built and designed that is Allah's wali. He may be among the enemies of Allah, even the one who is rightly a wali of Allah. He must neither be worshipped nor invoked, nor should help be sought from him, even if it is confirmed that he is a wali of Allah, the Mighty and Sublime. Although we do not testify for anyone that he is a wali of Allah, neither do we testify that anyone is among the dwellers of the fire. We only hope of mercy for the good doer and fear the consequence of sin for the evildoer, except those Allah has confirmed or the Messenger affirmed to be Allah's wali or enemy of Allah. Such is considered like that according to evidence. His saying, "Whoever takes any of my beloved for an enemy," that is, whoever harms my wali, antagonizes him and hurts him and makes him susceptible to evil, Allah will avenge for his wali. His said, "I have extended notice," meaning I have informed him of war. He is at war with Allah. Is there anyone capable of waging war against Allah? Glorious is He and exalted. Allah, the Mighty and Sublime, is the most powerful, who cannot be overpowered, and no one is capable of fighting Him. Allah the Exalted said, "And to Allah belong the host of the heavens and the earth. He will set some of His hidden and apparent host against Him. He will set His host such as sicknesses and diseases, and the disbelievers and the devils against Him, including the mosquitoes and flies. He will make from His host what will cause him harm and make him restless." So whoever opposes and wages war against Allah, Allah the Mighty and Sublime is certainly capable of destroying him with anything He wishes. Therefore Allah avenges for His awliya. Do not harm the believing slaves of Allah, whether with speech or action. Beware, because Allah will avenge for them. Allah the Exalted said, "And Allah is Almighty, all able of retribution." Do not hurt them with speech through backbiting, nor slandering, nor abuse. Do not hurt them with action by overburdening them. It is rather obligatory upon you to love them and assist them, because Allah loves them. Allah the Exalted said, "And those who annoy believing man and woman undeservedly bear on themselves the crime of slander and plain sin." Then He, glorious is He and exalted, said, "My servant does not get near me by anything dearer to me, like implementing what I have made obligatory on him. And my servant continues to seek nearness to me through his supererogatory deeds. Drawing closer to Allah is desired and even ordered, and that is by your carrying out good deeds, obedient acts, and things that draw you nearer to Allah. Moving closer to Allah is not by claim, it is by actions. You should draw nearer to him with righteous deeds, you cannot draw nearer to him except through what he has approved. Do not seek nearness to him with innovations and superstitions. The Prophet said, whoever does a deed which we have not approved will have it rejected, meaning it will be returned to him, so do not seek nearness to him except by what he has approved. As such, he said, dearer to me like what I have made obligatory on him. This shows that moving closer to Allah should only be with what Allah has obligated or recommended. Obligations such as the 5 daily prayers, the zakah, fast of Ramadan, pilgrimage to the house of Allah, and joining the ties of kinship, these are obligations or recommendations such as supererogatory righteous deeds such as the late night prayers, the forenoon prayer, and the regular sunnah prayers connected to obligatory prayers. These supererogatory acts are not obligatory. They are only recommended in perfection for the obligatory duties and additional good deeds, so it is not proper for a Muslim to limit himself to the obligatory duties. He should rather make provision from the optional duties as well. Such is the Wali of Allah, the Mighty and Sublime. He would moves closer to him with obligatory duties and optional duties. He said, my servant does not get near me by anything dearer to me. This shows that Allah loves righteous deeds just as He dislikes evil deeds. Allah loves dislikes and gets angry as it befits its majesty. Glorious is He and exalted. His saying, and my servant continues to seek nearness to me through his supererogatory deeds. This encourages towards optional duties, and that one should not hold back regarding them, because doing so contains abundant good. The word nawafil is the plural of nafila, and it lexically means addition. That is, addition to the obligatory duties. Then he, glorious is He and exalted, said, until I love Him. This contains the affirmation of love for Allah the Mighty and Sublime, and that He loves His righteous servants and righteous deeds. It also shows that righteous deeds bring about the love of Allah for the servant. So if you want Allah to love you, perform a lot of righteous deeds, and if you want Allah to love you, follow the Messenger. Allah the Exalted said, so say, O Muhammad, to mankind, if you really love Allah, then follow me, accept Islamic monotheism, follow the Quran and the Sunnah. Allah will love you and forgive you of your sins. He said, and when I love Him, I become His hearing with which He hears, His sight with which He sees, His hand with which He grabs, and His foot with which He walks. This means that Allah will aid him in these affairs. He will only look at what pleases Allah. He will only listen to what pleases Allah. He will lower his gaze from what angers Allah, and will not listen to what Allah has forbidden. He will only use these senses in the obedience of Allah the Mighty and Sublime. Similarly, his hand with which he touches, he will not take or give except for the sake of Allah the Mighty and Sublime. He will not use his hand except in obedience to Allah. His foot with which he walks, he will not walk except towards what pleases Allah. So he walks to the mosque to connect the ties of kinship and to the obedience of Allah. He will not walk to these theatres, stadiums, and places of corruption, because his footsteps will be written against him. If he walks towards goodness, good deeds will be written for his footsteps. Thus Allah will aid him in his hearing, his sight, his hand and his foot, and so he will not accept nor take nor look nor hear except what contains benefit to him in the sight of Allah. The reason for this is that he moved closer to Allah with obligatory duties and then followed it with optional duties, so whosoever desires this status should preserve the obligatory.